Have you ever asked yourself, why is this happening to me? Maybe life didn't go as planned. You lost a job, or a relationship ended unexpectedly. In those moments, it's easy to feel like you're a victim of bad luck or fate. But what if everything, both the good and the bad, has a deeper purpose? The Buddha once said, "Nothing ever exists entirely alone. Everything is in relation to everything else." According to Buddhism, nothing happens by chance. Every experience, whether joyful or painful, is part of a greater journey, driven by the interconnectedness of all things. In this video, we'll dive into this profound Buddhist wisdom and explore why life's challenges aren't random misfortunes. Instead, they are opportunities for growth, healing, and enlightenment. Join us on a path of self-discovery, and let's uncover together how understanding that everything happens for a reason can bring you inner peace and help you embrace life's twists and turns with a sense of purpose. The idea of change, embracing the flow of life. Nothing in life stays the same. Everything changes: the weather, our feelings, the people we know, and even our own bodies. In Buddhism, this idea is called Anicca, which means impermanence, and it's one of the basic truths of life. Pain comes when we fight against this truth. We want happy moments to last forever and bad times to end quickly. But life is always changing, and the answer isn't in holding on or fighting back. It's about accepting each moment calmly. Look at nature. A river never stops or holds on to one shape. It just keeps flowing. A tree loses its leaves in the fall, but it doesn't complain because it knows new leaves will grow in the spring. We too can learn to let go of things that no longer help us, trusting that every change brings a new chance to grow. Accepting that nothing lasts forever gives us freedom. It helps us enjoy the present without fear and face challenges, knowing they will pass. Since everything is always changing, hard times are just part of the journey, not the end. Real peace isn't about avoiding change, but about moving with it. When we stop resisting reality and accept things as they are, we find a calm that doesn't depend on what's happening around us. The power of cause and effect. Understanding karma in life. Life is full of surprises, and it can sometimes feel unfair. But what if the events in our lives weren't random? What if everything we go through, every success, every setback, every joy, and every challenge was the result of our own actions, thoughts, and choices? In Buddhism, this idea is called karma. Karma is the law of cause and effect, meaning that nothing happens by chance. Everything that happens is a result of the energy we put into the world. Karma is not a punishment or a reward. It's simply the way the universe keeps balance. Just like gravity affects everything, karma affects us all, even if we don't notice it. Every word we speak, every thought we have, and every action we take causes a ripple. These ripples may not come back immediately, but they will return to us eventually. Everything we do, say, and think leaves a mark. To better understand karma, let's look at a Buddhist story. A young monk went to his teacher, feeling frustrated with life. He said, "Master, life is unfair. Good people suffer while bad people seem to do well. Why does it seem so unjust?" The teacher: "Have you ever asked yourself, why is this happening to me? Maybe life didn't go as planned. You lost a job, or a relationship ended unexpectedly. In those moments, it's easy to feel like you're a victim of bad luck or fate. But what if everything, both the good and the bad, has a deeper purpose?" The Buddha once said, "Nothing ever exists entirely alone. Everything is in relation to everything else. According to Buddhism, nothing happens by chance. Every experience, whether joyful or painful, is part of a greater journey, driven by the interconnectedness of all things. In this video, we'll dive into this profound Buddhist wisdom and explore why life's challenges aren't random misfortunes. Instead, they are opportunities for growth, healing, and enlightenment. Join us on a path of self-discovery, and let's uncover together how understanding that everything happens for a reason can bring you inner peace and help you embrace life's twists and turns with a sense of purpose. The idea of change, embracing the flow of life. Nothing in life stays the same. Everything changes: the weather, our feelings, the people we know, and even our own bodies. In Buddhism, this idea is called Anicca, which means impermanence, and it's one of the basic truths of life. Pain comes when we fight against this truth. We want happy moments to last forever and bad times to end quickly. But life is always changing, and the answer isn't in holding on or fighting back. It's about accepting each moment calmly. Look at nature. A river never stops or holds on to one shape. It just keeps flowing. A tree loses its leaves in the fall, but it doesn't complain because it knows new leaves will grow in the spring. We too can learn to let go of things that no longer help us, trusting that every change brings a new chance to grow. Accepting that nothing lasts forever gives us freedom. It helps us enjoy the present without fear and face challenges, knowing they will pass. Since everything is always changing, hard times are just part of the journey, not the end. Real peace isn't about avoiding change, but about moving with it. When we stop resisting reality and accept things as they are, we find a calm that doesn't depend on what's happening around us. The power of cause and effect. Understanding karma in life. Life is full of surprises, and it can sometimes feel unfair. But what if the events in our lives weren't random? What if everything we go through, every success, every setback, every joy, and every challenge was the result of our own actions, thoughts, and choices? In Buddhism, this idea is called karma. Karma is the law of cause and effect, meaning that nothing happens by chance. Everything that happens is a result of the energy we put into the world. Karma is not a punishment or a reward. It's simply the way the universe keeps balance. Just like gravity affects everything, karma affects us all, even if we don't notice it. Every word we speak, every thought we have, and every action we take causes a ripple. These ripples may not come back immediately, but they will return to us eventually. Everything we do, say, and think leaves a mark. To better understand karma, let's look at a Buddhist story. A young monk went to his teacher, feeling frustrated with life. He said, "Master, life is unfair. Good people suffer while bad people seem to do well. Why does it seem so unjust?" The teacher, by practicing these qualities, we can transform our lives and the world around us. Karma doesn't only affect us as individuals, it also impacts the collective. The energy we put out into the world influences not just our own lives, but also our families, communities, and even the planet. If we show kindness, empathy, and compassion, we improve our own lives while also making the world a more peaceful place for everyone. This understanding of karma reminds us that we are all connected. Our actions affect others, and in return, the energy we create comes back to us. The more we live with love and kindness, the more we contribute to a better world. It's easy to feel like our small actions don't matter, but just like a single drop of water creates ripples in a lake, Every act of kindness contributes to a bigger change. A kind word, a helpful gesture, a moment of understanding, all of these can create a big impact. While they may seem small at the time, over time, they can add up to create a kinder, more peaceful world. Understanding karma means realizing that we are not victims of fate. Every decision we make, no matter how small, shapes our future. This awareness gives us the power to live a fulfilling and meaningful life that aligns with our values. When we take responsibility for our actions and thoughts, we stop seeing ourselves as powerless and start to see ourselves as creators of our own reality. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" we can ask, "What can I learn from this?" This shift in thinking turns every challenge into an opportunity for growth. Every setback becomes a lesson that helps us understand life's deeper truths. Karma teaches us that everything we do, say, and think comes back to us in some way. It's not about punishment or reward, but about the natural result of our choices. By living with this awareness, we can act with greater wisdom and create a life of greater harmony and well-being, both for ourselves and for the world around us. Attachment and pain, the art of letting go. In Buddhism, it is said that pain comes from attachment. We hold on to people, things, feelings, and even ideas, thinking they will bring us happiness. But everything in life changes, and nothing lasts forever. When what we want is taken away or changes, we feel hurt. The problem with attachment is that it makes us rely on things outside of ourselves. We start to believe that we can't be happy without certain relationships, jobs, or situations. But when our peace depends on things we cannot control, suffering is bound to follow. There is a Zen tale where a monk asked his teacher, "Why do we go through tough times?" The teacher showed him a piece of coal and a diamond and said, "Both come from the earth, but only the diamond has been formed through pressure." Challenges help us grow, just as fire makes gold pure. Without difficulties, we would never gain patience, strength, or wisdom. Letting go doesn't mean we stop caring or stop valuing something. It means we learn to appreciate what we have without trying to own it, to be present without expecting things to stay the same. Love without attachment doesn't try to control or hold on. It simply flows with understanding. When we stop clinging to things, we discover a freedom we didn't know was possible. We begin to realize that we can enjoy the present moment without the fear of losing it, and live with more ease, free from the worry of wanting everything to stay unchanged. True peace comes when we accept that some things are meant to pass, and we can live more fully by letting go. The power of acceptance, going with the flow of life. Life seldom turns out as we expect. From a young age, we are taught to work hard for what we want, to chase after our goals, and to push against obstacles. Yet very few teach us the value of acceptance. In many spiritual teachings, especially in Buddhism, learning to accept life as it comes without unnecessary resistance is a key to finding true peace. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up or resigning to our circumstances. It means understanding and embracing things as they are without fighting them. Acceptance doesn't mean we should ignore problems or let them take over. It's a mindset that allows us to face situations without anger or frustration. It's about recognizing reality as it is without trying to change it. Often we suffer not because of what happens, but because of how we react to it. When things don't go our way, we become upset. If others don't act as we expect, we become angry. If things change unexpectedly, We hold on to the past, resisting what is now in front of us. But life moves forward whether we agree with it or not. Resistance only causes more pain, while acceptance allows us to flow more easily with life. Picture a wanderer, tired and parched, wandering through a vast desert. After struggling for hours, he finds a small tree and takes shelter beneath its shade. Feeling defeated, he wonders aloud, "Why did I get lost?" Little does he know, just over the next hill, a fierce sandstorm is brewing. Had he kept going, he would have been trapped in its violent winds. What seemed like an unfortunate setback was actually a hidden gift in disguise. According to Buddhist teachings, everything in life happens for a reason. The events we experience are the result of a web of causes and effects. Even though we may not always understand why something happens, there is always a lesson to be learned. Instead of fighting against things we cannot control, we can ask ourselves, what can I learn from this? There's a story often shared in Zen teachings about a farmer with a horse. One day, his horse ran away. His neighbors expressed sympathy, saying it was bad luck. The farmer calmly replied, "Who knows if this is good or bad?" A few days later, the horse returned, bringing several wild horses with it. The neighbors celebrated this good fortune, but the farmer responded again, "Who knows if this is good or bad?" Later, the farmer's son tried to tame one of the wild horses, but he fell and broke his leg. Again, the neighbors lamented his misfortune, but the farmer replied as before, "Who knows if this is good or bad?" A few weeks later, the army came to recruit young men for war, but they passed by the farmer's son because of his injury. What had seemed like bad luck turned out to be good, and what seemed like good luck had a hidden danger. Life is a series of events that we can only understand fully in hindsight. Accepting life as it is doesn't mean we should stop trying to improve things. If something causes us pain and we can change it, we should take action. But if something is beyond our control, fighting, it will only lead to more distress. Wisdom comes from knowing the difference between what we can change and what we must accept. Practicing acceptance can be strengthened through mindfulness and meditation. When we meditate, we learn to observe our thoughts without judgment, allowing us to experience life with more calm and less resistance. One of the hardest aspects of acceptance is learning to accept others as they are. Often we try to change people, hoping they will be more understanding or act differently. But everyone has their own journey, and when we stop trying to change them, our relationships improve. Acceptance doesn't mean we tolerate mistreatment, but we can accept others without expecting them to change to fit our expectations. By accepting others as they are, we free ourselves from unnecessary frustration. Self-acceptance is also crucial. Many times we are our own toughest critics, punishing ourselves for our mistakes. Learning to treat ourselves with kindness and compassion without being overly harsh is essential for our well-being. Accepting ourselves doesn't mean we stop wanting to improve, but it means we stop fighting against ourselves and start treating ourselves with more care. Change is a part of life. We will face challenges, but we will also experience joy and growth. Learning to accept both the difficult and the good moments with a calm heart brings lasting peace. When we stop struggling against reality and start flowing with it, we discover that happiness is not about control, but about accepting what comes our way with openness and gratitude. Acceptance frees us from the burden of resistance and helps us live more peacefully. Each day is a chance to practice acceptance, starting with the small things, so we are prepared to face life's bigger challenges with wisdom and calm. True freedom comes from learning to flow with life, not trying to control it. Finding purpose in life's challenges. Life is full of tough moments that can leave us feeling confused and lost, whether it's experiencing a loss, facing failure, dealing with illness, or going through conflicts. These challenges often seem overwhelming. However, each of these struggles holds a lesson, even if it's not obvious at first. When things don't turn out the way we hoped, it's common to feel anger, sadness, or resistance. But if we take a step back, we may notice that, hidden within these tough times, there is a lesson waiting to be learned. Nothing in life is pointless if we can turn our pain into something meaningful. One of the teachings in Buddhism is that everything is connected. Nothing happens by chance, and every event is part of a larger process. Often what we see as an obstacle is actually something necessary for our growth. The challenges we face today could be setting the stage for something better in the future. In fact, a Buddhist story tells of a disciple who saw a caterpillar struggling to escape its cocoon. Wanting to help, the disciple opened the cocoon, but the butterfly that emerged couldn't fly. The struggle to break free from the cocoon was crucial for the butterfly's wings to become strong enough for flight. This story reminds us that our difficulties often help us develop the strength and qualities we need to move forward. Pain can be a powerful teacher if we are open to its lessons. It forces us to look inward, to question ourselves, and to grow. Through our struggles, we discover our weaknesses, but more importantly, we gain the chance to turn those weaknesses into strengths. Every challenge offers us the choice to stay stuck in the pain or use it as a chance for transformation. Life doesn't always give us what we want, but it always gives us what we need to grow. A broken relationship might teach us to value our independence. A failure at work could be a sign that it's time for a new direction, or a health scare might remind us to take better care of ourselves. Even if we can't see the purpose right away, everything has a reason, and if we are open to learning, we'll eventually understand. Sometimes it's only with time that we can look back and recognize the purpose behind a difficult experience. What may have seemed like a setback at the time could later reveal itself as an important opportunity. The key is not to stay stuck in negativity, but to trust that everything has its purpose. Instead of resenting life's storms, we can ask ourselves what they are teaching us. Perhaps patience, letting go, or preparing us for what's ahead. Pain is something our minds naturally want to avoid. But when we face it with awareness, it has the power to transform us. Just as fire refines gold, pain can strip away what is unnecessary and help us discover our true selves. When something hurts us, it could be a sign that we need to grow. If criticism affects us deeply, it might be an opportunity to build our self-esteem. If we experience a loss, it could be a chance to learn how to let go with love. By accepting that challenges are part of life's lessons, we stop seeing them as curses and begin to view them as opportunities to evolve. One helpful practice is to reflect on the difficult moments we've been through and think about what we've learned. This process often reveals that we've grown in strength, wisdom, or compassion through our hardships. Life's lessons may be hard, but they are always valuable. Each challenge prepares us for something greater, and when we learn to see obstacles as opportunities, we embrace them as essential steps in our growth. Life's difficulties are not random. They open the door to a new understanding, and we only need the courage to walk through it. The power of mindfulness. Our minds often wander between the past and the future. We dwell on past experiences, sometimes with regret and worry about the future, imagining what might happen with anxiety. As a result, we rarely live fully in the present moment, the only moment that truly exists. Mindfulness is a practice that teaches us to anchor ourselves in the here and now, helping us experience life with full awareness without distractions. When we are stuck in thoughts about the past, we relive old pain or hold on to memories that no longer serve us. When we focus on the future, we create scenarios in our minds that may never come to pass, which causes unnecessary stress. However, the present is where we can truly live, act, and feel. It's the only time we can experience life in its fullness. Mindfulness isn't just something we do during meditation, it's a way of living. It means being fully engaged in whatever we're doing, whether it's eating, talking, or walking. For example, eating mindfully means enjoying each bite and paying attention to the taste and texture rather than eating quickly without noticing. When we listen to someone mindfully, we focus on what they're saying without planning what we'll say next. Walking mindfully involves feeling each step, noticing the ground beneath us, and being aware of the air around us instead of being lost in thought. In today's world, many of us live in a state of constant distraction. We check our phones while talking to others, think about work while spending time with family, or worry about the future when we're eating. We may be physically present in one place, but our minds are elsewhere. This disconnection from the present moment leads to stress and prevents us from fully experiencing life. Mindfulness helps us reconnect with the present, bringing our attention back to the here and now. Buddhism compares the mind to a restless monkey jumping from one thought to another. Meditation is a way of training that monkey to calm down, helping us focus on the present. At first, it can be difficult to quiet our minds, but with practice we become more aware of our thoughts and learn to choose where to direct our attention. A simple mindfulness exercise involves focusing on the breath, paying attention to how the air enters and exits our body without trying to control it. When the mind drifts, we gently return to the breath. This simple act helps us stay grounded in the present and sharpens our ability to concentrate. Mindfulness is not about clearing our minds of thoughts. It's about observing them without getting caught up in them. Imagine your thoughts are like clouds drifting across the sky. You don't need to hold on to them or try to push them away. Just notice them and let them pass by. Living mindfully shows us that many of our worries are unnecessary. When we get caught up in thoughts about the past or future, we create suffering. But when we focus on the present, we find peace that isn't dependent on external situations. Mindfulness also helps us respond rather than react. When we're present, we create space to choose how to react to situations, which allows us to act with more clarity and calmness, instead of letting anger or fear take control. In Buddhism, it's said that every moment is an opportunity to awaken. We don't need to wait for special occasions to practice mindfulness. It can be part of our everyday life. Whether we are washing our hands, drinking a cup of tea, or listening to a bird sing, we can be present and aware. Life is happening now, and each moment is precious if we learn to appreciate it. Many people search for happiness in the future, believing they'll find it after achieving a goal or getting something they desire. But happiness isn't something we find later. It's something we can experience right now by living in the present. If we don't learn to be present, we'll always be chasing something that feels out of reach. Mindfulness helps us see the beauty in the simple things, allowing us to enjoy life's small details that we often overlook. It deepens our connection to our existence, giving us the clarity to face challenges without getting caught in mental drama. Every moment offers a chance to practice mindfulness. We can start by taking a few conscious breaths when we wake up, really listening to those around us, or savoring each bite of food with gratitude. Over time, mindfulness becomes a habit that transforms our daily lives. Mindfulness is not an abstract idea. It's a practical tool for finding peace in the chaos. It reminds us that life isn't in the past or future, but in the present. When we learn to live in the present, we discover that happiness is not something to chase. It's something we can experience in every moment. And so, as we journey through life's twists and turns, remember that everything happens for a reason. Even in moments of pain and uncertainty, there is purpose and growth to be found. Just like the butterfly breaking free from its cocoon, our struggles can shape us into something stronger and wiser. By embracing change, letting go of attachment and accepting the flow of life, we unlock the key to true peace. Trust that every challenge holds a lesson and every experience is part of a grand design. Keep an open heart, stay mindful, and flow with the rhythm of life. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more on this journey of self-discovery. See you in the next video.